Hello and welcome. You are now looking at the inside of Amazon Prime Video Direct, and you'll notice that if you go to the support link, that you'll pull open a side menu here. You're going to then click Get Started, and then you'll want to click on Royalty Information, and you're going to see a schedule of information here. And so now we'll discuss royalties and compensation. Now, you are going to be paid monthly based on a number of different activities altogether. First, you're going to be paid video purchases and rentals. It happens you'll be paid 50% of the net revenues of purchases and rentals. Now, customers can buy episodes or seasons, and then any episodes that they purchase, if they decide to purchase a season later, it'll count toward their actual purchase. They'll get the entire season at a discount. And if you go to Prime Video and you type in a title that you're likely to find, for example, we typed in WordPress, you'll see the different classifications here. You'll see that someone can watch an episode, they can buy the entire season, or they can watch an episode free with ads, or they can buy outright. And the main way you're going to generate revenue is going to be the number of people who are watching your videos. And some of those views are going to be included with people who have subscriptions to Amazon Prime. And there are going to be different tiers of activity based on the aggregate hours streamed. So, for example, every year Amazon will determine how many hours people are streaming your videos, and that'll put you on a certain tier to be paid more or less. So, for example, the more hours that people are streaming your videos, the higher your rate of pay, and you'll see that in the schedule. Now, once your tier is determined, then you'll be paid based on the number of hours actually streamed. So you'll have a tier, and then you'll have streaming that'll take place. And again, the higher your tier, the higher the rate of pay. You're also going to be paid 55% of the net advertising revenue of individuals who've chosen to watch videos free but to have ads associated with them. You'll also be paid 55% of net monthly revenues of individuals who are watching your videos through Amazon channels. When that happens, payments are going to be issued 90 days after the end of the month after the activity occurs. And payments are going to be made by the bank account that you've already set up unless you choose to have payments wire transferred. And when you have wire transfers, you are going to have a certain dollar threshold to meet before you can be paid. And you can look at the details of the threshold as well as the tiers and Prime streaming in the royalty information section of your support area. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. When you're inside of your account, what you're going to do first is you're going to come up to the drop-down arrow. You're going to set up your new account. You're going to be brought to the digital license agreement. You want to read through this license agreement. Once you've done that, you're going to come all the way to the bottom and then click Agree. You're then going to want to set up your administrator profile. And you can set up a second administrator who can serve as a backup. Once you've done that, you'll click Save and Continue. Amazon will then have you set up a bank account in order to set up your account. Once you enter in the information, you can then click Save. You can also add in a second bank account if that is what you prefer. You'll then be asked to create tax information, so you'll need to click this link. Once your tax information is validated, you'll then click Exit Interview. Once you've done that, your account will then be set up and you are ready then to begin uploading videos. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, if you started the process with Prime Video Direct, you've probably already set up a brand, you've probably already set up a bank account. Now, there's quite possible that you may want to work with an individual that you want to have assist you with your account. However, you don't want them to have all information on all of your videos. And if that's the case, you can go to the top menu here, and a little bit of this is blurred out, but you're going to go to this drop-down menu, and then you're going to click Create Another Account. What you're going to notice right away is that this is the same license agreement that you agreed to when you set up your account initially. And what you can do then is then agree to this once more for the new account. Now, the individual that's going to be set up with this account is going to be the administrator, or you are going to administrate the account also. And you'll notice here that you're going to have to go through this same process: setting up the business account, setting up your payments, and then submitting your tax information. And what this does is it allows you to set up different information for videos that you're going to be creating under a different address and different company profile. And this separate brand will have its own dashboard, its own videos, own landing pages, and everything separate. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. If you go inside of your account settings, you'll notice that you have yourself as an administrator, and you may have someone that you invited. You can invite other individuals in order to help you manage the account. In order to do that, you're going to click Invite Users. You're going to write in the individual's name and email address. And once you've entered that individual's name, you're going to select a role for them. Now you can make for them a custom role, you can make for them an administrator role, or you can make it so they can look at your account only. Now for the sake of this video, we're going to choose a custom role. And then we're going to determine what we want them to see. And in this case, we're giving the individual access to the ability to add, modify, and publish video titles so that they can help us to manage the account. We're not going to give them access to sales reports. We're not going to give them access to the ability to add new users. And we're not going to give them access to any banking information. Once we have all that, where we want to determine how the individual is going to interact with the account, we're then going to click Send Invite. Then that individual will reflect an invite pending. Now the individual is going to get an email asking them to click a link to accept your invitation. They'll then click this link. Now if the individual does not have an Amazon account, they'll need to create one, or they can use their existing Amazon account. Then the person that you added will then have access to your Prime Video Direct account. And if you refresh your page or hit F5, you should see that the individual is then part of your account. You can always go in and edit their custom settings. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we want to discuss some of the equipment you're going to need in order to create videos. Now, obviously, you can create them as elaborately as you want. However, if you're creating them for your business, you do have a minimum level of equipment you're going to need, and that's what we're going to cover in this session. Now, assuming that you already have a computer and or a smartphone, you are going to need a way of being able to capture audio. And typically, you're going to need some kind of noise canceling headset or microphone. And you can get one like the one that's pictured, the Plantronics Audio 355. It goes into most PCs and Macs. Now, even though the Plantronics is noise canceling, you are going to need something like a pop filter or something to capture the noise and wind. And you can do that very easily with some kind of windscreen, which you can get inside of a site like Amazon. Now, it's quite possible that your laptop will not have jacks for an audio headset. They may have a USB port, and if that's the case, you can buy an adapter for your stereo jacks so that they can go into your laptop. Now, one of the things that will make recording your videos much easier is to have a second and or third monitor. And you can get travel versions of the monitor in 1080 or high definition by looking for a travel monitor with 1080p. Now, you'll need to be careful when you're looking at these monitors because most of them don't come in high definition, and you'll need that in order to record your video properly. So make sure that you're looking for one with high definition and that it actually travels with you wherever you go. If you're recording yourself or you're recording some kind of activity, you'll be able to use an external webcam that does not depend on the resources of your personal computer. And you can get one in the Logitech C930E. Of course, you can get something that's a lot more elaborate than this, but this is a very easy and affordable choice in terms of a webcam. Now, the webcam that we just mentioned it actually adjusts to the lighting. However, in most cases, you are going to need to be able to throw some kind of light on your subject, even if it is you. And you can do that very easily and affordably by getting a number of what's called a clamp lamp to place around your recording area. If you need to soften the light that comes from the clamp lamp, you can do that with a pair of white hosiery. In order to neutralize your background, you can do this very easily and affordably with what's called a shoji screen. And once again, this is according to preference, but this is a very neutral background that anyone can use in order to take away the unprofessional look from their background. And if pricing is an issue to find these items, you can use a meta search for both eBay and Craigslist. Depending on where you live in the world, you can type in your search phrase to searchtempest.com or all of Craigslist. Now, you are going to need some kind of recording and capturing software to run on your Mac or PC. You can find one of the most commonly used applications in TechSmith Camtasia. Now, because TechSmith Camtasia runs over $200, you'll be able to pick up a screen capture and editing program for much less than that if you choose to use Screencast-O-Matic, which again does all of the functions in terms of capturing video, capturing your screen, and giving you the opportunity to edit your content. If you're going to give your presentation while you're creating your videos, you're likely to use a free application on Google, such as Google Docs or Google Slides, or of course you can use Microsoft Office and PowerPoint. Now, if you're already a user of a webinar application, you can use this feature to record your videos even though you do not have features to edit the videos in sites like GoToWebinar. There's similar paid applications such as Zoom and free applications that you can record your screen such as Google Hangouts. Now, in combining all of these elements, you'll be able to put together a reasonably priced system that will help you to get started until you reach the point where you want to invest more in your video creation system. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, in this video, we're going to go through a simple process of determining some niche topics that you can think about for creating your videos. Now, if you go to google.com and you were to go to the search bar and you were to type in your area of expertise and then wait for Google Suggest to give you options, you'll see some of the most recent searches. For example, in this particular case, if we were to go to Google and we typed in WordPress membership, we would see at least 10 different options for us to start looking and do more searching if we were going to stay on Google. And of course, we would do the very same thing in YouTube. Now, in some cases, these searches will yield the same results. In other cases, there will be some overlap. In other cases, they will be totally different. What you want to do when you have determined some of the search terms that you want to start looking for, you want to go inside of Amazon Prime Video Direct. But we're going to do this a little differently. We're going to put in our search term. When we put in that search, what you're going to notice is you're going to notice some Kindle book activity. You'll see some physical copies of information. And then at the very bottom, you'll also see that there is a listing here for Amazon Video Direct. You'll see some other activity for Amazon Video Direct. And so what you will begin to see is whether or not there is going to be room for you to place your video content on a specific search. And of course, we can find other Google starter search terms by using sites like Google Trends. So basically what we're doing is we're leveraging Google to find out what has been recently searched, and then we're working inside of the Amazon site to determine whether or not we can place content in those particular searches. And very often you'll see that depending on what your subject area is, your content may be all that will be in a specific classification. Now, in some cases, if you do a search in association with Amazon Kindle, you will find some video associated with your subject. Although currently this is not typically the case, there are going to be times where you'll see video as a recommended item. For example, Amazon will show an individual feature recommendations based on their browsing history. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now you're looking at the inside of a video inside of Amazon Video Direct. And you'll notice that this is a video all by itself and that there are no seasons attached to it. This is one of the ways that you can create content for Amazon Video Direct. You can create a video as what's called a standalone video. And so we'll briefly discuss standalone titles. There are three primary ways to publish in Amazon Video Direct. You can publish as a standalone title, as we've just seen. You can publish as a series, and you can publish as a channel. Now the standalone title is, as it says, it's one volume or one video. And typically, if you think of it in terms of a featured movie that you might see at a theater, that is a standalone. It doesn't require you to see anything before or after it to get the maximum benefit or enjoyment from the video. So you can create a video with the intention that it would be viewed as one unit, and so that people would not have to see anything else to get the maximum benefit. And if you were communicating one idea or one event, this would be how you would use the standalone title. Now here's something that will be mentioned later and is important to note. You want to keep your audience in mind when you create video, in particular a standalone title. You will have viewers rating your video, and that will really determine how others see you. So you don't want to do it without thought. You don't want to leave a standalone title available on your account if it's not the best way to communicate the information that you're trying to get across. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now, one of the other ways to arrange your content will be in terms of episodes and seasons. As you can see here in this particular title, you can see that there are 10 seasons, and you can get access to them inside of Amazon. There are also episodes inside of each season. So if we change this season to a particular one, all the episodes then change. This gives you the opportunity to do a different kind of information video while arranging it all under one title. Now you can also arrange your content by channel. And as you can see here, there are a number of companies that already have channels where they have all of their content. Now there are some specific parameters, and we will go over that right now. So in this session, we'll discuss episodes and channels. So in addition to creating a standalone title, you can also create what's called an episodic title. And in this case, a title can have multiple episodes, which is also a series, or multiple seasons, as you can see. And since you're more likely to be communicating business information, you can think in terms of having one title with different subjects or episodes and different volumes or updates, even though they will be called series and episodes. So what you have here when you're using the episodes and seasons is you have more latitude over the process when you use episodes. Now, when you're creating your content, you're branding your graphics, you want to think of this in terms of how you're going to actually arrange your series when you place it in Amazon Video Direct. Now, with respect to channels, they are available when you have a minimum of 200 standalone titles or 50 seasons available for a minimum of 18 months. That's quite a bit of content, but it may be something that you want to build toward. Now, once these titles are included as a channel, though, they can no longer be included as Prime Video. So one thing you can think about as you begin creating content is creating titles with eventually having a channel for your content. Now, currently, as the program is fairly new, there aren't that many information and business-based channels available on Amazon Video Direct. So there's plenty of room for you to create your content. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. In conclusion, you need to remember that Amazon does not want your video to be a promotional video. It means that you don't want the video to be something that will be sending people to landing pages inside of the actual video itself. In addition to that, in the descriptions and in the titles, those are not typically supposed to be promotional either. So there are other promotional methods, but you don't want to have this as part of the video or the description. Amazon does give you a landing page for your videos. So this is one of the promotional elements that Amazon does give you. And remember that you do get an Amazon.com/V and any name that you designate. So even if right now you're not necessarily ready to create videos, one of the things you want to do is you want to go in and set up your account so that you can claim your name quickly. So currently, Amazon does not connect Kindle with Video Direct. However, you will see similar subject matter appearing together on the page. So one of the things that you can test is if you have something in Kindle, you want to keep it very similar to something that you have in Amazon Video Direct to trigger suggestions for the actual customer. And one important thing to note is that Amazon does allow licensed content. That means that you do not have to originate the content. And it means that you can also use private label rights content. Now, that is said with caution. You can get a bad reputation in your reviews if your content is not considered to be robust enough for the customers. And you'll see the answer to this question in a recent inquiry to Amazon Video Direct. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course.